It was a dark, stormy night on August 01, 1798. Dark clouds and gusty winds had provoked the merciless waves of the Mediterranean Sea. The war between France and Great Britain was at its peak. In the meanwhile, a French fleet had just anchored 20 miles from the port of Alexandria, a coastal city in Egypt. This fleet was commanded by the French Navy General Napoleon Bonaparte. The French fleet also included a ship, the Orient, commanded by Commodore Joseph. Joseph was diligent and brave captain. The endless waves of the deep sea were splashing madly at the Orient against its walls and losing their very existence. Orient housed a large number of sailors and marines, but the most valuable asset on board was an 11-year-old boy, Casabianca. Casabianca was the only son of the ship's commander. He was brought up under the supervision of his courageous father in a combat environment. Casabianca was a young boy, but he was always loyal and obedient to his father. As the French fleet sailed from the Mediterranean to Egypt, Royal British ships, led by Admiral Nelson, pursued it and intercepted it off the coast of Alexandria. The next day, Nelson ordered the British fleet to attack the French ships. As soon as the attack order was received, the British ships took up their positions and began heavy shelling on the French fleet. The Orient's captain could be seen on the deck along with his son to assess the developing situation. The captain had identified the danger. He left his son on deck and ordered him not to leave the position until his return. The captain went down to guide the ship to safety. The French ship was attacked by Royal Naval ships from two directions, inflicting heavy damage to French ship. Chaos and disorder could be seen engulfing the deck of the unfortunate ship. The attack kept on escalating and the ship caught fire. The flames surrounded the entire ship. At the same time, a shell landed very close to the captain, and he was critically injured and collapsed on the floor. The vice captain assumed the command of the ship, and knowing the gravity of the situation, ordered his men to vacate the ship. Everyone rushed to the lifeboats to save their lives. The vice captain also asked Casabianca to leave the ship, but he refused to go anywhere without his father's permission. Dangerous flames were scorching Casabianca's delicate body. He shouted loudly, "What is the order for me, father?" He did not want to leave the ship without his father's permission, but his father had already sacrificed his life in the line of duty. The ship's vice captain urged him again to get off the ship, but the boy resolutely refused to leave. He would wait for his father's final instructions. The boy stood firm and decisive. Admiring the bravery and discipline of young boy, the vice captain also refused to sit in the lifeboat. The boy was still waiting for fresh instructions from his father. The flames grew and the ship soon began to sink. Casabianca decided to stand his ground. He was fully committed to obey his father's command at any cost. Eventually, the ship completely sank, taking down the little boy and the vice captain with it. The sacrifice of all these soldiers at Orient was eternal and glorious, but the death of the young boy Casabianca was that of a hero's death. He sacrificed his life following his father's order. Napoleon lost the war, and Nelson's victory was a historic victory that prevented French Revolution spreading to the European and the Asian states. But the history still recognizes young Casabianca as the real hero of the fight, who laid down his life obeying his father's command. The story of Casabianca is a glorious example of bravery, discipline, and commitment of a child to his father's command. This story reminds us of the fact that following the parents' advice always brings glory, majesty, and blessings in stories of our lives. If you liked this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Do like, share, and comment on the video, and press the bell icon to get notification about latest videos.